الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونشكره ونصلي ونسلم على حبيب إله العالمين حافظ سره ومبلغ رسالاته الرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد المحمود الأحمد أبي القاسم محمد وبآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين صلوات الله عليهم أجمعين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم ومنكر فضائلهم وغاصب حقوقهم من الأولين والآخرين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وكلامه الكريم وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم آمنا بالله وصدق الله العلي العظيم صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. We are given responsibilities, duties, different responsibilities by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The very first thing that man should know in his life, that he is answerable and he will be questioned wherever he is, wherever he goes. That is why it reminds me of Imam Khomeini, rahimallahu alayhi, that his motto was that I want to fulfill my responsibility. Man dar wazife khudam anjam midaham. Wherever I am fulfilling my responsibility. I am doing my duty. Until when he was expelled, when he was sent to Turkey, to France, and when he was coming back with all that history is there, that he said to the Iranians that if you want me to come back, then you support me, I need your support. They said that yes, we'll support you. And then when those people, there were some people in the aircraft, when they were interviewing Imam Khomeini, rahimahullah alayhi, and they were posing a question that how do you feel while you are coming back to Iran, and when now you have already boarded the aircraft, now you are about to reach Tehran. Imam Khomeini, rahimahullah alayhi, said that do you see these people here? They are all shouting, they are screaming by saying, Khomeini ruh mani, oh Khomeini, you are ours. Then Imam Khomeini says that if all these people, these Iranians, if they would have been saying Marg bar Khomeini, if they would have been saying that down with Khomeini, I wouldn't mind. I don't mind whatever they say. I am fulfilling my responsibility. Thus we, as humans, we are given different responsibilities, different duties, which we have to fulfill. They are our rights, they are our duties. And one from all those duties, one of the duty is that according to Quran says, Ati'ullah, obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then Quran says, obey Rasul, the Holy Prophet. And then obey those people who are ulil amr, who are given power and authority. And then who are those personalities who are given power and authority? You'll find that from our responsibilities, when we are given this life, it is a ni'mah indeed, yes, we don't deny that. But it is also a test. We must agree this, that it is also a test. Now, since we are given this test by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how are we performing this test? Are we passing this test or are we failing? It all depends upon us. If we fulfill our responsibilities, then we have passed this test and exam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will find that in history, there were so many personalities who came on this earth, and they had different kinds of tests. They were given different kinds of exams by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thus, when we are living on this earth, we are giving tests by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it all depends upon us. Which way do we want to choose? You will find that in the time of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, there were so many people who were there. They were very close to Imam Hassan alayhi salam. But unfortunately, when it came to support Imam Hassan alayhi salam, they deserted Imam Hassan alayhi salam. They did not support him. some of the companions, they were not only prominent companions, but they were related to Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Like Ubaidullah ibn Abbas. Ubaidullah ibn Abbas was the son of Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib. So Imam Hassan alayhi salam's father was Ali ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. And who was Abi Talib? Abi Talib was Abdul Muttalib's son. Thus Abu Talib is the son of Abdul Muttalib, and Abbas is son of Abdul Muttalib. These all were related. Ubaidullah ibn Abbas was commander-in-chief when Imam Hassan alayhi salam stood against Muawiyah. He was commander-in-chief, and we all know the hot topic or the burning topic at that time was the sulh, the peace treaty, or the truce which Imam Hassan alayhi salam, between Imam Hassan alayhi salam and Muawiyah. And at that time, Imam Hassan alayhi salam could find people. There were approximately 12,000 people who were already there to support Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And when they all went near Madain to fight against Muawiyah, now in the middle of the night, we all know about Muawiyah. Muawiyah was a cunning politician. So now here you will find the test starts. Chaos started at that time. Everybody was giving tests there. Muawiyah, in the middle of the night, he sent some people to betray Ubaidullah ibn Abbas. He knew that Ubaidullah is the commander-in-chief. He was given a big amount of money. When he saw a big amount of money, who was also a relative of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, who is the commander-in-chief of Imam Hassan alayhi salam's army, when he saw a big amount of money, he was bribed. He was bought. First he refused. Then according to Dua Sabah, wa aqli maghlub wa hawai ghalib. And my aql is overpowered by my desires. His aql was overpowered. What overpowered his desires? His low desires overpowered his aql. What happened? He left. In the middle of the night, he left the camp. Now you imagine these soldiers or this army, in the morning when they woke up, they saw that their commander-in-chief has gone. What happens? That their morale broke, their strength broke automatically. Their morale broke. The second in command, who was Qais bin Sa'ad, who got up, who was a very good orator. If he would deliver a speech, it would be a very powerful speech. He got up, he delivered a powerful speech over there, and then he said that, don't worry, I will be commander-in-chief now. Now this is one thing which Muawiyah did, that he bribed the commander-in-chief of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. The second thing which Muawiyah did is that when they were ready for going to the battle, when they were standing on the first line, what Muawiyah did is he sent some people, and he from Muawiyah's side, from Muawiyah's camp, from Muawiyah's army, to brainwash those armies of Imam Hassan alayhi salam that you are standing here to fight for Hassan al-Mujtaba, but Hassan al-Mujtaba himself, he's signing a peace treaty. At that time, the peace treaty was not initiated by Imam Hassan alayhi salam. The peace treaty and truce was initiated by Muawiyah, la'natullah alayhi. On one hand, he sent some people to brainwash those armies who were standing on the first line. On the other hand, he sent 5 people to the tent of Imam Hassan alayhi salam with a blank paper underneath signed, it had a signature of Muawiyah, that you go and initiate and tell Hassan ibn Ali that he should write his conditions and we want peace. So the peace or the truce was initiated, the peace treaty was initiated by Muawiyah. When the paper was given to Imam Hassan alayhi salam, Imam Hassan found that this is a good opportunity. It's a golden chance. Imam took advantage of situation. He wrote all the conditions. In those conditions, Imam alayhi salam starts. The first condition is that Muawiyah, la'natullah alayh, will act and implement upon Quran and Sunnah. What does it mean? If Imam writes, the first thing, Muawiyah will act and implement upon Quran and Sunnah, it means Muawiyah, if he was the caliph or the ruler, he was not acting and implementing upon Quran and Sunnah. The second thing, Imam says that Muawiyah will take care of, he will secure in terms of general security and safety, He will take care of the Muslims. He will secure them. As far as the security and the safety of Muslims is concerned, he will take care of them. Why does Imam write this? Because there were so many people after the battle of Siffin, Muawiyah killed them, like Amr ibn Hamik, Hujr ibn Adi. They were killed by Muawiyah. And why was Hujr ibn Adi killed? Simply in Kufa, because in Namaz Jummah, when Ziyad bin Abi, who was the governor of Basra and Kufa, Lanatullah alayh, Ziyad bin Abi, when he was leading Salat al-Jummah, he was cursing Imam Ali alayhi salam. And Hujr ibn Adi would stand and he would refute and he would deny that why are you dispraising Ali alayhi salam. Hujr ibn Adi would praise Imam Ali alayhi salam and he would condemn Muawiyah. This was the reason for Hujr ibn Adi to be killed. He was killed, he was hanged to death. And not him alone. There were 7 other companions with Hujr ibn Adi. And the son of Hujr ibn Adi, known as Imam, he was also there. And this is not from our sources. It is from the book of Abu Ala, Maulana Abu Ala Maududi, a Sunni alim. The book's name is Caliphs and the Kings. In there he writes, Abu Ala Maududi, that 7 companions with Hujr were killed. They were hanged to death. And before that, Hujr, his son Imam, who was a young son of Hujr ibn Adi. And when he was asked, what is your last wish? Do you know what did he say? He said that my last wish is that I want my son to be killed, to be assassinated in front of my eyes. What is the reason? He says that lest death terrifies him and he accedes to curse Ali alayhi salam. Before he accedes to curse Ali alayhi salam, I want him to be assassinated in front of my eyes. This was Hujr ibn Adi. And he was killed because of Imam Ali alayhi salam, because of the love of Ali alayhi salam. Such a loyal companion. These were killed by Muawiyah. Muawiyah killed Amr bin Hamik. That is why you will, and from the 7 companions of Hujr ibn Adi, one companion, when he was Ziyad bin Abi, said that one of them should remain. He won't be killed in this ordinary way, in an ordinary manner. I will kill him in a severe manner. He was buried alive from these 7 companions. One companion was killed, he was buried alive. Now you will find the second condition was that you will take care of the Muslims as far as their security and safety is concerned. And not only of the Muslims, but even of Hassan and Hussein. Because Imam Hassan alayhi salam, if he was poisoned, that was not first time, that was third time the attack was made. The third condition, Imam writes there. What does he write? He writes that Muawiyah won't be called Amirul Mu'minin. Here, Imam wants to convey that he does not deserve this title of Amirul Mu'minin. The fourth condition, Imam writes that Ali ibn Abi Talib won't be cursed from the masajids, from the mimbars, and from the mihrab in Salat al-Jummah. The fifth condition, and that was the dream of Muawiyah. Imam alayhi salam puts a seal in the dream of Muawiyah. Imam Hassan alayhi salam writes that after you, O Muawiyah, when you die, the caliphate won't go to Yazid. It will either come to me, and if something happens to me, it will go to Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salam. Muawiyah wanted to establish a dynasty, a family dynasty. He wanted to give Yazid. But Imam puts a seal in his dream. And these were the conditions of peace treaty. Now, question, if Muawiyah had many people, isn't it? He had many people, and his army was organized. They were dedicated. Then why didn't Muawiyah attack Imam Hassan alayhi salam? Why did he send a blank paper so that Imam should write conditions? Why did he initiate peace and truce? The reason is that Muawiyah wanted to rule, but he wanted legitimacy from Imam Hassan alayhi salam. He wanted jawaz. He wanted legitimacy from Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Now when this circulated, this news spread, and when this news circulated everywhere, that Hassan is making truce, Khawarij, from Khawarij, the group of Khawarij, they penetrated in the tent of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And one Khawarij, he attacked Imam Hassan alayhi salam's thigh, and he wounded Imam Hassan alayhi salam's thigh to that extent that it started to bleed profusely. While Imam was praying, he was doing his ibadat on the musalla. It was good that Imam alayhi salam hold his beard tight. Otherwise, he would have killed Imam alayhi salam in the tent of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. When he entered in this Khawarij with other Khawarij, now I won't explain who were Khawarij. There were those who fought against Imam Ali alayhi salam in the battle of Nahirwan, the last battle of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And they are the ones who killed Imam Ali alayhi salam. But they also had Muawiyah at the same time. So they were calling Imam Ali alayhi salam kafir. This Khawarij entered in, he's saying that, oh Hassan, your father was kafir and you are kafir. You are doing peace with Muawiyah. Many people who came there, who came to support Imam Hassan alayhi salam, some of them were not loyal, or they didn't know their responsibility. They didn't know their duty. They had more hatred for Muawiyah and less love of Ali alayhi salam. They had more hatred towards Muawiyah. There were so many people like, please recite a salawat. Like Abu Sa'id Aqisa. Abu Sa'id Aqisa, he comes to Imam Hassan alayhi salam and he says that, oh Hassan, why did you sign peace treaty? Imam alayhi salam explains him very benevolently. Imam tells him that this sulh is the same sulh. First Imam asks him, Alastu hujjatullah fil ardi? Am I not the decisive proof of Allah on this earth? He says, why not? Bala. Then Imam says, haven't you heard the Holy Prophet saying that Al-Hasan wal-Hussein imaman kama aw qa'ada? Hassan and Hussein are the imam, whether they retire or whether they sit or stand, whether they fight or they do sulh, in any case they are imams. He said, yes, I've heard. Then Imam says that the Prophet, the way he did sulh Hudaybiyah, this is the same sulh. If Prophet would have been alive, he would have done the sulh. Imam explains him. The difference is that sulh Hudaybiyah, which Prophet did before Fath Makkah, that is ulaika kuffarum bit tanzil. And this sulh is ulaika kuffarum bit ta'wil. They were kufr, they were denying tanzil, that is Quran Majid. And these people are denying tafsir, they are denying ta'wil, they are denying me. They are denying ta'wil. Hujr ibn Adi. Hujr ibn Adi was that companion, who was very loyal companion. You have heard his loyalty. But when I say that we are given responsibilities and duties, we should put ourselves, how are we in fulfilling the responsibilities which we are given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How obedient we are. Hujr ibn Adi. At that time also he comes. And in this particular situation, he is not very good example. That Hujr ibn Adi says to Imam Hassan alayhi salam that, Ya Hassan, what has happened? You have taken justice, from us, and you have thrown us to injustice. You have relinquished us. I wish I would have died. I would have not seen this day. I would have not heard that you have signed a peace treaty with Muawiyah. And again Imam alayhi salam explains him benevolently that, look, I have not denied to fight against Muawiyah. I have postponed the battle, ceasefire. Because the number is not that much. Their number is very big, one. The second thing is, we would have been killed. We are very handful. We will be killed. Now, there are two consequences would have happened, historians say, and I end up. The first consequence is that what would happen if Imam Hassan would have not signed the peace treaty? The first consequence is that Muawiyah would have overpowered. The army of Muawiyah would have overpowered the army of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, and they would have killed. The whole army of Imam Hassan alayhi salam would have been killed. And history would have written that Muawiyah requested for peace treaty, but Hassan refused. And history would have supported Muawiyah, as it is now they support Muawiyah. One. The second consequence is, what would have happened is, that Muawiyah could have arrested the whole army of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, including Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein. He would have arrested them. After arresting them, Muawiyah would have freed them, isn't it? He would have humiliated them. He would have freed them and to show off. And then he would say that Antumut Tulaqa, the way Prophet said in Fath Makkah, to Abu Sufyan and Ali Abu Sufyan that I have freed you. By law, what Prophet did was right. Even by law, Muawiyah could have freed them completely. And he would say that Antumut tulaka. This would happen. And then 10 years later, this was 50 after Hijrah, 10 years later, 61 after Hijrah, Bibi Zainab alayhi salam could have not said this sentence in Darbar Yazid in Sham, that Yabnat tulaka. If she would have not said Yabnat tulaka, oh, the sons of the freed ones. If she would have said Yabnat tulaka, then Yazid would reply that you are telling us that we are the sons of the freed ones. Even my father Muawiyah freed you. Muawiyah freed you. My brothers and sisters, we need to understand these things because these questions come up. Why Imam Hassan alayhi salam signed the peace treaty? These were the reasons for Imam Hassan alayhi salam to sign the peace treaty. And the last condition was that Imam alayhi salam sealed the dream of Muawiyah. And what was that condition? That the caliphate or the hukumat won't go to Yazid, but it will come to me or to my son. And Muawiyah did not want that. That was the reason to poison Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And I have said this earlier, that the attack which Imam Hassan got, it was not first time. When he was already poisoned, Muawiyah bribed Ju'da bint Ash'as. She was the wife of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And when Imam felt thirsty, he asked for a drink. And when Ju'da gave some drink, it was already poisoned. After having that poisonous drink, when the poison started to give its effect, the color of Imam changed. It says that Imam started vomiting. When Imam Hussein alayhi salam came, Bibi Zainab alayha salam came. What must have happened when Zainab alayha salam saw her brother passing away? These were the last moments of Hassan alayhi salam. And he started doing his wasiyah. From those wasiyah, one of the wasiyah was that, oh brother Hussein, first of all, Hassan said, La yawm ka yawmika ya Aba Abdullah. Today is a very difficult day, O Hassan, indeed. But your day will be more difficult. Ashura will be more difficult, O Hussein. La yawm ka yawmika ya Aba Abdullah. From those wasiyat, one wasiyat Hassan says to his brother that, oh my brother Hussein, please try to bury me besides my grandfather Rasul. This was the wasiyah of Hassan, but unfortunately, when the funeral when it was heading towards Masjidun Nabawi, when the funeral was going, when the corpse was taken, it was heading towards Masjidun Nabawi, Aisha and Ali Marwan, they became a barrier. They stood against the funeral and they said that we won't accept Hassan to be buried besides Rasulullah. I would say this is the same Hassan. Rasulullah would feed him, Rasulullah would kiss him, Rasulullah loved him so much. Out of his love, he said, Al-Hasan wal-Husayn Sayyiday Shababi Ahl al-Jannah. The Muslims were aware of these traditions of Rasul. In spite of all those traditions, the Muslims, they lifted their swords. Even Banu Hashim lifted their swords. They aimed arrows at the coffin of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. At that time, when Banu Hashim lifted their swords, Imam Hussein alayhi salam came forward and said to the youths of Banu Hashim that, oh youths of Banu Hashim, this is the wasiyah of my brother. My hands are tied with the wasiyah of my brother Hassan. He has told me, and I'm helpless today, he has told me that my brother Hassan should, if the Banu Marwan and if Aisha becomes a barrier, then we should bury Hassan alayhi salam at Jannatul Baqi near the grave of our mother. On hearing this, I would say that, oh Hussein, today your hands are tied and you are helpless because of the wasiyah of your brother. But this is Medina, this is not Karbala. In Karbala, your son Sayyid Sajjad's hands will be tied with chains. At that time, Sayyid Sajjad will be helpless. He won't be able to bury you. He will tell his aunt Zainab that, oh Zainab, Rab, I'm around, but I'm so helpless. I cannot bury my father. I can see his body. I can see his corpse unshrouded, but I cannot give him shroud. I cannot bury him, and I have to proceed to Kufa. Ala la'natullahi ala al-qawmi al-zalimin. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون رضا بقضائه وتسليما لأمره إلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة.
Muhammad wa Muhammad salawat. Just a reminder that the Niyaz fund for tonight's Niyaz is